Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man DB. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when new material is coming out. IG, Elephant Man _ podcast, Facebook / Elephant Man Podcast, Twitter / Poster Boys. Hit the Paleo Hebrew in the top right or the bottom right corner, and you'll know when to subscribe and how to subscribe and get the notifications when we come out. Also on there we go. Hebrew Sphere, Odyssey, Hebrew Connect, and BitChute and Rumble. Blessings to you, blessings to everybody. Shalom, blessings to everybody. Sunday evening build. Blessings to everybody. Hope you guys had a blessed and prosperous week. And as the scriptures say, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. I hope you have a prosperous soul. I know we in this area, this place and this space, and a lot of weird things going on. I got a real treat for you for the Stranger Things series. Not tonight though, but I got a real treat for you for the Stranger Things series. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's coming in. Where's my glasses? On the top of my head. You ever looking for your glasses and they were sitting right on the top of your head? Or either in your shirt. Happens to me all the time. I don't know what's going on. Tim Davis, blessings to you. Shalom, shalom. Charles West, blessings to you. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, family. Let's see. RJ 420, born and raised in Gary, but living in Jamestown, New York. Shout out. Blessings to you, and shout out to Jamestown, New York as well. Blessings. My cousins in the building. Tyron, Bonds, shalom to you. Man, I got to take you out to lunch, man. I know I always say that, but I'm for real. I'm going to take you out for real, man. Yes, for real. Apostle Curtis Lewis in the building. Yo, you got to tell me what was going on with that Houston. Apostle Curtis Lewis traveling all of the states. He was with Pastor Kelly in Virginia not too long ago, and now he was in Houston. You got to tell me about that, Elder. Blessings to you. Are they on your face? What did they say? Or are they on your face? No, it was on my head. The glasses was on my head, and I was looking all over for them, and it was on the top of my head. Now, if they're on my face, I'm like, well, my glasses. Now, I did that with my phone before. I had my phone in my hand, and I'm like, I got to find my phone, right? But you don't call your phone to find your phone when your phone is in your hand. But that's a whole other different day, whole other different story. Ninja Firewolf, shalom, blessings to you. Rainy Powell, shalom. Blessings to you as well. Blessings. Alyssa Joy, shalom. Shalom. Blessings to you as well. Ruhama, always. Ruhama, blessings to you. We went up there to where Ruhama was at, and we went and visit. And said, yo, we in the area, right? And she said, yo, I'll meet y'all at the fair, right? We was at the fair. And it was nice, man. It's soul food restaurant. I keep talking about that soul food restaurant. I wish it was one closer. Man, it was some good food, some good old baked chicken and stuff. And then also a Jamaican restaurant. It's pretty good. Blessings, shalom, shalom. Well, I'm gonna start off this evening with I'm gonna talk about the shooting, man. It was, so I mean. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I want to just share this video with the shooting and then give my thoughts again. My thoughts and prayers go out to those victims. If you have not seen the Stranger Things about the Balenciaga, you need to check it out. And also give me an update. Did they find that young man, or is he still missing? And do you think that the man in the window, the mannequin, the so-called mannequin, is that really him? All right, but that's a whole other different story. Kimberly J in the building. Also, hit that fam up like Ruhama says. Blessings to you all. But I'm gonna play my fair use real quick. So I'm playing a lot of different videos. I'm gonna touch on two different things, and we're gonna get out of here. Let me see. Where's my stuff at? All right. So this is all fair use, all the videos I show for entertainment purposes. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Again, fair use. All right, fair use, fair use. Whoa, baby. Yes, sir, Bob. Whoa, baby's in the building. Yes. So I'm going to show this video real quick, and let's see what's going on with it. And fair use, so I can show this video real quick. It's very crazy. You guys all know what's going on. It's been in the news.
A massive police response after gunfire erupted at an outlet mall in Texas.
We got shots fired at the mall. We got people running.
One of our officers was on an unrelated call at the outlet mall. He heard gunshots, went to the gunshots, engaged the suspect, and neutralized the suspect.
Hundreds of shoppers were escorted out of the Allen Premium Outlets just north of Dallas Saturday afternoon. Many seen walking with their hands above their heads.
There's this guy dressed in all black, wearing a vest, has an assault rifle, and he's just shooting at people.
The shooting occurred at about 3:30 p.m. local time, with numerous victims taken to the hospital.
Found 7 deceased individuals on scene. We transported 9 individuals to the hospital to area trauma facilities. Of those that we transported, 2 have since died, 3 are in critical surgery, and 4 are stable.
As the situation unfolded, the city issued a public safety alert warning residents to stay away from the area. Multiple agencies are on the scene to assist in the investigation, including the FBI and ATF.
We have a multi-agency response helping us work the scene. They helped us evacuate the mall. We've set up reunification areas.
Investigators believe that it alone.
And we don't believe that there's another threat at this time.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has issued a statement saying, "Our hearts are with the people of Allen, Texas tonight during this unspeakable tragedy," adding that he's offered local authorities the full.
All right. So shout out to stopping that gunman. It don't take but seconds, y'all. You hear me? You could be out having ice cream, riding your bike in the mall somewhere, and then 8 people gone just like that, never to return home to their family and friends and loved ones. So my prayers go out to those families. We will pray at the end of the show. Was it a? I mean, it don't matter if it was, but was it a Hispanic man, white man, black man? They said they did not release. If anybody knows, put in the chat. You know, what was he? Daughter of Yah Shalom. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Where's it at? Oh, thought I had put it on there. Shalom, shalom. Was it a black guy? Was it a white guy? Was it a Hispanic guy? And they said he acted alone, and they didn't release the identity. So I don't know. Somebody give me some more information on that story. All right. So my heart goes out to them. You know, we live in perilous times for real. But one thing I think about too. This is one thing I think about because I'm in Indiana. Indiana, they got I think they constitutional carry now. Before you had to get either a 5-year license or either a lifetime license or whatever. Now it's a constitutional carry. But my whole thing is this: you really gotta educate yourself with these firearms, for real. Because if an incident go down, and one of my friends had brought this up, and this is not a firearm talk, but it's just on the top of my brain. All right, incident go down. You carrying you got the right to bear arms. Okay, in America, you reach out. Okay, you see an incident. You start shooting at this person, right? It's he made a very valid point, my friend. He said it's things behind. So if you don't hit this target right on, it's things behind it. It could be cars, it could be women, children, it could be store, it could be whatever, right? So you got to be, and then if it's shots fired and then the police come on the scene and you were I ain't gonna say the hero, but you were the civilian who stopped the situation or whatever. They just coming on the scene blazing and seeing it's shots fired, they see people laid out and they see you there with the gun. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to be educated when it comes to these firearms because, they shoot first and ask questions later when it comes to that. So every state is different. So know the guns laws in your state if you have a weapon, okay? that just made me think about that, man. Because I just like, man, that's some wild stuff right there, man. I'm gonna share this other story too. But so y'all let me know if that was a Hispanic, black, white, who was it? You know what I'm saying? And also we praying for this family in Chicago. 24-year-old off-duty police officer killed in a tragic accident. She got killed, but yeah, it's very sad. Let's check it out.
While the police station here remains bare of bunting, inside it's filled with grief as officers continue to mourn the loss of one of their own.
Heal the land now, Jesus. We bind up all these evil spirits.
With fingers intertwined,
and we believe her death will not be in vain.
the pain felt
Let the blood of Jesus replace the blood on the streets.
spews through this prayer circle.
And you can only pray that something doesn't happen, but unfortunately, sometimes it comes right to your front steps.
As community and faith leaders joined 5th District Chicago officers in remembering one of their fallen sisters in blue, Officer Ariana Preston.
It hurts. I knew this young woman. You see these young people come willing to serve.
The Chicago FOP Lodge posting this picture of Preston. Police say the 24-year-old was shot and killed early Saturday morning after just arriving home from work near 81st and Blackstone. Doorbell video showing first responders rushing to the scene.
Well, it's not looking good. Get an ambulance here now.
Investigators say another officer brought to the hospital, but doctors couldn't save her.
No mother wants to wake up to the tragic news that their child is dead, and dead to something as awful, tragic as gunfire.
Her fellow officers gathering to honor a life ripped away that had so much more to offer. Preston was set to graduate with her master's degree from Loyola University next weekend. The university saying it's shocked and saddened by her tragic passing. As an undergrad student, Preston also traveled abroad with Illinois State University. Her former ISU professors saying in a statement, Ariana wanted to be the officer who would speak for the most vulnerable in society.
We're planning a graduation, God, but now they have to plan her homegoing, God.
Every time we lose a servant, a hero, I mean, it's pretty tragic.
So far, police haven't given a
Yeah, so praying for that family. But, it's interesting to see Israel locking hands and humbly crying out, and that's what we have to do. Just what the beginning of that video, the end of that video, we got to cry out and pray for those. So you guys said the person's name, Abby Cole. Shalom, brother. It's been a minute. And Kimberly J. and Abby Cole put Mauricio Garcia. I have to type it in there and see exactly what's going on with it. Not sure why it was it is sad. It is sad. What's this one question? What's this one question? Expound on that. Yes, we must continue to pray. We're gonna pray at the end of this show today, and we got to continue to keep our head on the swivel. So I'm just telling y'all, I showed y'all that not to bring her down, but I just showed y'all that to say, life is short. And I'm telling you, call that person you haven't talked to in a while, you got beef with, or you didn't fell out with, or they didn't fell out with you, even if it ain't your fault. Call and apologize and extend an olive branch to your family and your friends and your loved ones. Just say, we here today, gone tomorrow. I praise the Most High every time we go different ways. Me and my sons and my wife, we go to different places. One person going one way, one person going one way, and then so it's a blessing for us all to come back home safe at the end of the night. You know what I mean? And so count your blessings. Who was the girl? Oh, I don't know. Oh, that was a girl. The girl. She was in the girl in the video. She was in Chicago police deputy, and she got killed before she went to her graduation. So we're praying for her and her family, but so we're praying for them for sure. So yeah, man, we got to do that. We got to do that for real. Okay. What'd she say? Yes, we must pray, not in a circle though. Pray in a circle. We can pray in a circle. We can hold hands and pray in the circle. Okay, let's see what she said right here. Say, so much going on in the world. Find myself being. VL, find myself being. Help me lift it up. Keep me lifted up in prayer. Yeah, absolutely right. I can't read tonight. Absolutely right. He said Illinois only have handguns now. That's wild. Indiana, you still got assault weapons and shotguns and the AR-15s and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really, really wild. Yes. So also too, we got to pray for our kids. Pray for our kids. I'm gonna show this video, and I don't know Jason Camp 4 from Baltimore. He's from this area right here, where 3 middle school boys ran up on a bus and tried to shoot another kid, but the gun jammed. So that's a blessing. That's a blessing in disguise. Check
Prince
this
George's
out.
County Police have released photos of 3 very young suspects who they say forced their way right into a school bus Monday to try and kill a middle schooler.
That gun jam, though, police said, and then the boys ran. So tonight there's a lookout for those boys and a whole lot of fear. Scott Broom is in Oxon Hill, where this happened on Monday, to tell us more. Scott?
Well, a measure of the anxiety tonight behind us here. We have Prince George's County Police at this intersection here to protect kids as they get off school buses late this afternoon. The incident we're talking about happened Monday as a school bus pulled up here at Sutler Drive and Iverson Street, and that's when these 3 kids pushed their way on board with a pistol in hand. Tonight, Prince George's County Police here to protect kids as they get off the bus, as pictures of 3 juveniles were released by authorities. The boys boarding that school bus Monday and pushing past the bus driver and an aide on board. One juvenile carrying a semi-automatic pistol. According to police, the gunman put the gun to the chest of a middle schooler and repeatedly tried to shoot, but the gun was jammed. So the gunman used it to beat the victim, who survived with cuts and bruises. Police say the attackers then ran. This grandmother of middle schoolers said she lives in the neighborhood.
I'm just not understanding how these kids getting guns and stuff.
Do you fear for these children?
I fear for the kids and us as well. Because what if a adult would have stepped in and tried to stop it and the gun didn't jam?
Both the bus driver and the aide on board during the incident are so terrorized they've taken leave, according to fellow driver Martin Diggs, who's president of the union local representing drivers.
But they're afraid to come out of the house because the suspects that got on the bus, their faces were covered. So they don't know who these people are. This particular issue that happened on the school bus is one incident of many incidents.
Diggs said school employees are constantly threatened with injury because of an epidemic of fighting on buses and in schools. Diggs said the student who was targeted attended the non-traditional middle school program at Edgar Allan Poe School in Suitland. Diggs noted the school system has cameras in the majority of its bus fleet. It's too late.
All right. So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Pray for our youth. I am so glad that the gun jammed, right? It didn't go off. Because you put a semi-automatic in somebody's chest, it's over with. It's traumatizing. You can go through the seat. It's over with. So the bus aide and the bus driver like, yo, they didn't want to intervene and get hurt themselves. They didn't recognize who they were because they had masks on. So we praying for those young men, both the ones who had the gun and think that, you know, we deal with a lot of self-hate. We deal with a lot of rejection issues. We deal with a lot of different things in our community. And we respond to each other. We got to be able to communicate more and listen to one another more. We respond with violence. So we got to make sure we praying for our youth. And don't think that they're all right. Don't assume that they're all right. See, I remember when I was a young pop, I just assume everything right. You know, you got a warm meal, you got a bed, you got Wi-Fi for your devices, everything cool. No, talk to your sons and your daughters, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, your friends and family. Talk to them, right? And see what's going on. If they don't open up, pray for them, right? Because Abba, y'all know what's going on and their mind, will, and emotions and their surroundings. So pray for them, talk to them, and because somebody prayed for us, right? So we got to continue to pray for one another, and prayer is powerful. And I want to show that thing that what was he saying? Brother Tim said. We got to scroll up some. Oh, I lost it. Yeah, but we got to pray for one another. We got to definitely pray for one another. Y'all continue to lift me up in prayer. All those who gave and stuff, thank y'all for, y'all know who y'all are. Thank y'all for giving. Thank y'all for giving to this ministry. Really appreciate it. It's a blessing. But I forgot. Oh, here it is right here. These are those demonic spirits moving around. Prayers and fasting can protect you from demonic influence. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to be clothed and in my right mind so I can serve Yahuwah. Amen. Amen. Praise Yahusha and praise Yahuwah. Now, the real reason now we're here for this is the main reason we're here, if you've seen the box, is I want to show this. I can't show this because I know they're going to block it, but I'm just going to just show it on the screen. And then I'm going to give you the link to it if you haven't seen it already. Okay? You've probably seen it already. Let's see. Share the screen. Tab. I'm going to share it. I'm not going to say it, though. See that? Watch that video. Watch that video. Watch it in increments, though, because I started off 15 minutes watching it, and I had to, like, wow, this is unbelievable. Then I came back. So, but I got a chance to watch the whole thing, right? And we always say the things that concerning. A matter of fact, I'm gonna put that link in the chat if y'all have seen it. Share with this, right? And also go on their Twitter page too. Very interesting. Oh yeah, it's a tough video. It's interesting. I'm gonna put it in there. I ain't want to say it because I don't the algorithms be mad and then take the showdown. That's the only reason why I ain't said it. Yeah, I saw it. That's the same. And so is Something in the Water. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Something in the Water. If y'all got the Something in the I done said the doggone title. If y'all seen that second video, send the link to me. Charles West said he's seen it. And the whole thing that I want to say is a lot of times they say, oh, if anything happened, I mean, I remember when in the first stages and we were ignorant to C19. Man, you can't sneeze for allergies. You can't have a common cold. You couldn't do nothing. Everything was linked to it. So, Latita Israel, shalom, blessings to you. Everything was linked to it, right? Everything was linked to it. If everybody died, some people died of, heart failure or whatever. It was just because you ain't take the jab because you had C19. And then they was trying to say that no injuries were related to C19. Any injuries, right, was not related to C19. So those who took it, continue to pray. It causes clots. It causes a lot of different things. Everybody, Bell's palsy, and everybody's body react different, right? It might just give you the tremors, right? It might give you whatever, and it might go away, and all the way as far as death, right? So be careful, educate yourself. I really believe, and not to be a conspiracy theorist, man, that they're gonna try to link all of that. They're not done. They just pumped the brakes, and but it decimated and it destroyed so many lives, right? Small businesses, right? When they're saying non-essential. What you mean non-essential? It's essential because if I'm an employer and I'm hiring people and they feed their families, that's an essential job, right? And it's very interesting that the liquor store was essential, right? Places of worship at the beginning was non-essential. You had to Zoom your stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna show these last two tabs. We're gonna get into this really quickly. Very interesting, man.
New era of COVID-19.
I declare COVID-19 over as a global health emergency.
The World Health Organization with that big announcement today, and next week, the U.S. public health emergency will also expire. The CDC says that means its surveillance methods of COVID will change.
The bottom line is that the CDC will still be able to tell that it's snowing, even though we won't be counting every single snowflake.
The federal agency will now primarily use hospital admissions and wastewater to track COVID levels across the country instead of testing data.
A lot of folks are testing at home for COVID-19, and because many more cases now are milder or even asymptomatic, a lot of folks aren't testing at all. All of that means that case numbers are not the most reliable indicator.
As we enter this new phase, experts warn it's still important to stay vigilant. The WHO says last week the virus claimed a life every 3 minutes. The CDC's work will continue as normal when it comes to vaccine effectiveness and research into long COVID.
Well, COVID is still around. Just because we're lifting these declarations doesn't mean we still should drop our guard and not be vigilant.
This comes amid a big announcement from CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky stepping down at the end of June. Dr. Walensky addressed senators on Thursday, warning of a lack of readiness for the next pandemic, urging lawmakers to stay on top of funding to help the country better prepare. President Biden released a statement thanking Dr. Walensky for her work, saying she helped save lives in a once-in-a-generation pandemic. No word on who might replace her. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, so I got another video directly from the brother, but she stepped down and Fauci stepped down in December, and then they say the next time, yes, and I'm gonna talk about that. He said he was in a hospital environment; it was mandatory. Yes, I'm gonna talk about that, brother Tim. Let's watch this real quick.
That I declare COVID-19 over as a global health emergency.
The Director General of the World Health Organization on Friday announced he was ending the emergency he declared for COVID-19 more than 3 years ago, marking a major milestone in the pandemic that has killed more than 6.9 million people, disrupted the economy, and ravaged communities.
COVID has changed our world.
The move comes a day after the WHO Emergency Committee recommended the UN agency an end to the coronavirus crisis. But the WHO chief warned that the end of the emergency did not mean COVID was over as a global health threat.
The worst thing any country could do now is to use this news as a reason to let down its guard, to dismantle the systems it has built, or to send the message to its people that COVID-19 is nothing to worry about. If we all go back to how things were before COVID-19, we will have failed to learn our lessons, and we will have failed future generations.
The WHO's declaration comes just 4 months after China ended its prolonged and severe COVID restrictions after a surge in infections. In many parts of the world, testing has dwindled dramatically, and people have largely stopped wearing masks. Ending the emergency could mean that international collaboration or funding efforts are also brought to an end or shift in focus, although many have already adapted as the pandemic has receded in different regions. Last year, U.S. President Joe Biden said the pandemic was over. Like a number of other countries, the U.S. has begun dismantling its domestic state of emergency for COVID, meaning it will stop paying for vaccines and testing for many people and shift the responsibility to the commercial market. Later on Friday, Biden said in a statement that top U.S. public health official Rochelle Walensky will step down at the end of June from her role as director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. In her resignation letter, Walensky, who led the institution for 2 years at a time when the pandemic was at its peak, wrote, quote, "The end of the COVID-19 public health emergency marks a tremendous transition for our country, for public health, and in my tenure as CDC director."
All right. So, I think one of my questions, well, let's go right here with this brother Tim right here. Shalom. I was working in a hospital environment. It was mandatory. I had to work around 3 patients who had C-19. Then he said, the shot does not prevent you from getting the C-19. And then he said, I got C-19 from other people. Yeah, I had it too. I just wanted to say that I finally to my family, whatever you do, put Abba first. Absolutely. I think one of my main things with it is, like I said, half the country took it. It's not. Some people had to take it because of their jobs and all that. And New York made all these mandatory, and California made all these mandatory things. Take it or else. NBA players, Andrew Wiggins said he didn't want to take it, but it's like, yo, if you don't take it, then you can't play in the NBA. So I think that's one of my main things. The negative press, to say you're an anti-vaxxer narrative. The negative press, I don't think that's cool either. It brings stress and anxiety, right, to some people who saying you don't want to, like, say, for instance, people say, well, it's time to vote, but you have the right to vote or not to vote. And so if you say, well, I don't want to partake in that, I'm good, go ahead, enjoy, I'm not vote. Then they say, people died so you can vote, da 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 da. But now you putting stress and pressure on me or whoever to do it. You already said it was okay to do it or not to do it, right? And sometimes we got a herd mentality. But that's very, very interesting. So I'm really glad that I didn't have to put in my 2 weeks. It was getting close to it. I work out of school. We had to scan heads every single day. And it was a very, very interesting time. But it wasn't tested enough, right? You put what really was fishy to me was putting us at the front of the line, putting Israel at the front of the line, right? They set up free site so you can get the jab for free. Y'all know the story. And so when they say things like it's over, how is it over? When is it over? Who ended it? What? You got to ask these critical questions. Like what? Like it just stopped, or it's not as much as a threat, or enough people got the jab that it's not much of a pandemic. And then they say this, which say you're not ready for the next, which in my opinion, I believe that they got to be planning something else. They're planning something else, straight up and down, because Gates was talking about the next pandemic, this, that, and the other, and that was like 2000. He had a video in 2010. He had a video in 2013, and another video in 2015, right? And so it's like, what you mean when the next one happened, right? Then we had this Ebola stuff breaking out, and it's like experimenting on lab rats, and we're not lab rats. We are creating the image and likeness of the Most High Yah. We're not lab rats. So I asked the Most High to give us discernment, to give us wisdom, and not run in fear, right? His perfect love cast out fear. It's some trying times, y'all. But who ended it? Who said it was over? I mean, that stuff just, even when I watch the different games on television, they ain't no 3 foot, and ain't no 6 foot. We sit next to each other. Some people still wear their mask, but mask is so commonplace that you don't even look at them funny. You just like, oh, okay, he still got his mask on. You know what I mean? Oh, she still got a mask on. And I think like our bus public transportation, they still wear the mask. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, I'm not anti-mask. I'm not anti-vaxxers. I'm anti-manipulation. I'm not anti-jab. I'm not, even though I seen that died suddenly and all that. I am. You free to choose, right? And it's just real weird. We want from my body, my choice, and we support you for killing your unborn kid, but then when it comes to this, it makes it mandatory, right? A lot of police, a lot of firemen had to leave the force, had to leave their force because they didn't want to take the jab, right? A lot of people in the military, right, had to leave and died because they took the jab. And a lot of people was dishonorable discharge because they didn't take the jab, right? And so I think the pressure and the stress of this system that tries to make us do stuff, I guess for the greater good, right? And I'm gonna put this other one, the Guy Sully Twitter in there too. Very good. Follow him. Okay, so let me see what he's saying. Let me see what Brother Tim's saying. Or it did nothing to me after getting COVID. A lot of people had bad side effects, even some. Man, praise the Most High. That's a blessing right there. It didn't do nothing to you. That's a blessing, man. Yeah. Hallelujah. Kimberly J. Our Father has all power. We must trust him. We have no strength left in this evil place. He knows we are tired. His message is clear. Fear ye not. And I'm in agreement with that. And I believe what you're saying. And I'm never trying to spread fear. And he said, fear not. But I'm saying, stand up. We're going to stand up. Rumble world premiere found on that. Oh, Kevin Andrews. He said, Shemayahu said, oh, I'm anti-jab. And that's cool too. But you shouldn't be called anything whichever side of the fence you stand on, you shouldn't be forced. Like, you shouldn't get support for abortion, but then force you to do something. Because what if my body react to, okay, I'm taking it so I can feed my family, and then my body react to it and I check out. I mean, absent from the body, present with the Most High. But now, my son's without a pop. My wife can't sue, right? So it's like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it. I'm just like, man, we can't do nothing about it. Shut up and take it, and you can't do nothing about it if it's got any side effects. I think that's the main thing. And I think even with the truckers, it's been a wild 3 years, y'all. You guys have survived a wild 3.5, 4 years straight up. You guys survived a wild 3.5, 4 years straight up. The truckers that was in Canada was like, yo, we want to bring the stuff into Canada, this, that, and other. And they was like, yo, you got to make sure you jabbed up. They like, nah, we ain't doing none of that. And they was like, well, you can't come into the country. We was like, okay, well, we're going to sit at the border with our trucks. Them trucker strikes and different things like that. It was 2 different trucker strikes. I knew that was one of them. And then they going to say, well, we're going to freeze your account. That's showing you something to come when we go from a cashless society. You're going to freeze my account? That's my bread. Now, I can understand the satellite go out or the power go out, power grid, and we can't get to the ATM or whatever. Okay, but to say you can't put me on punishment for my own funds, right? And that's what the cashless society, not to pivot to another subject because we're not talking about that, but I was just saying trying to make it mandatory was crazy. This new virus coming will attack your children as per Gates. Yeah. A vaccine cannot be mandatory. Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. So we gonna pray to the Most High. Matter of fact, let's read from Psalm 91. Blue Letter Bible. Let's pull that up. Read from Psalm 91, and we're gonna get on up out of here. Psalm 91. And we make sure you guys start planting some. I don't know if y'all like collard greens, mustard greens. A lot of vitamins in collard greens, y'all. Eat you some collard greens with some smoked turkey neck in there or something. Smoked turkey tail or something. If you don't eat meat, then you don't have to. You can put liquid smoke in there, and it's just as good. So let's pull this up real quick. I think they are focusing on filling up the military due to international threats. Oh, that's a good point. That's interesting. I think they are focusing on filling up the military due to international threats, and they need all hands on deck. The next pandemic will probably occur between 2030. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because you got people all crazy and checking out and can't hold a rifle right, then you can't. And then they say the drop. They say there's a major drop in recruitment. They said it's a major drop in recruitment. People ain't signing up, y'all. It used to be a pride badge out of in the Army. Anybody on here that serve, thank you for your service. I'm not dogging you. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or the new branch, the space branch, branch. I'm not dogging you, right? But I'm saying it's at an all-time low. People are like, nah, people are weary. People don't know, you know, that's why we trust in the Most High and not the arm of flesh. We wait for the next Democrat to get in office, the next Republican to get in office, and all of our problems are going to be washed away. Says who? Says who? Oh, yeah, the Space Force. That's the other. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and the Space Force. And they're going to be, I don't know how you're going to fight aliens with nukes. They probably got advanced technology, the fallen angels. They gave you the technology for the nukes anyway, but I digress. I don't want to go off into another show. But I'm going to read this Psalm 91. No man will redeem us. That's what it says. Deuteronomy 28:63. Because we are worshipers. And we will worship anything that saves us. So it's got to get real ugly, real bad. We use our special power weapon called cry out, which looks like a weakness, but it's music to the Most High's ears, and it's on and popping. Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to share this, and we're going to get on up China chair. So, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, where my thing? Why it ain't going big? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Oh, wait a minute. I got this other window open. Got a lot of stuff open, y'all. Okay. I guess that's a little bit better. I will say to the Most High, He is my refuge and my fortress. My Abba, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and thy buckler. Right? His commandments, His truth, His finished work of His Son, Yahusha. Right? His ruach that He left for us. His blood, His word, His truth. All that's a part of His truth. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor by the arrow that flieth by day, nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy right side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shall they behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, and the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because He hath set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. That's powerful. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because He know my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. That's the cry out. I will be with him in trouble. I will be with you in that fiery furnace. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yahusha was with them in the fiery furnace. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy thee, and I will show him my salvation. Praise Yahushua. Abba Yah, I just finished this scripture earlier. Praise Yahushua. Abba Yah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, we thank you for your grace, your mercy. You said 1,000 shall fall at my side and 10,000 at my right hand, but it shall not come nigh me. And we thank you for your provision. We thank you for your protection. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your power. Nothing comes without your hand. Nothing happens without your hand or without your permission. And we worship you and we thank you. Abba Yah, you said if I be lifted up, I'll draw men unto me. We lift you up on the day. We worship you. We lift you up. And we worship you. We honor you. We adore you. Abba Yahuwah, we thank you for all the many blessings you bestowed upon us. You give us witty inventions. You give us wells we haven't dug. You give us vineyards we haven't planted. You give us houses we haven't built. You clothe us and you put us in our right mind. You give us discernment. Abba Yah, let us not despise the awakening. Let us not sell the awakening or despise the awakening like Esau did with the blessing. Abba Yah, to whom much is given, much is required. We thank you. Lead us and guide us in all truth. You say they that thirst after righteousness shall be filled. We hunger and we thirst after your righteousness. So we know by your word you're going to fill us up. And we thank you for all the many blessings you bestowed upon us. In Yahushua HaMashiach's name we pray. Amen. All right. Blessings to y'all, man. It's a short one. Stranger Things is coming up. The series, my Stranger Things series. You have to check it out this week coming up. Thank you guys for joining and hanging out with me. Elephant Man Podcast Network. Grown Man Conversations. Dibble Evans in the room. I am out.
Perfect.